Kia ora, I'm Sherry Kinnear and these are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. More than a dozen people are facing charges for allegedly defrauding the government's COVID-19 wage subsidy. The scheme paid out nearly $14 billion to businesses that suffered a loss in revenue over a set threshold due to the pandemic. Now, the Ministry of Social Development has charged 16 people involving more than $680,000 worth of taxpayer money. It's also preparing criminal cases against another 5 people and has filed for recovery in 2 cases. Meanwhile, there's calls for New Zealand to widen access to the second COVID-19 booster. All those aged 50 or more and are immunocompromised are eligible as long as 6 months has passed since their first booster. Meanwhile, here in Australia, they're expanding access to 7.4 million people, having already administered it to 60% of those 65 years and above. Auckland University immunologist Anna Brooks says in New Zealand, immunity is waning for people who had their booster a while ago.
There's plenty of people who need to protect their loved ones. You know, you might be a 30-year-old with an immunocompromised person at home, and therefore it's safer if you yourself get boosted.
And New Zealand may soon be in the thick of another Omicron wave with new subvariants behind the wheel. A virus modeller says the BA4 strain and particularly the BA5 have been circulating for some weeks and are masters at evading immunity. COVID-19 case numbers are climbing with 7,461 recorded yesterday. 662 patients are in hospital, including 13 in intensive care. Elsewhere, the Prime Minister heads off to the Pacific Islands Forum later today. It's her third overseas mission in the space of 4 weeks and could be a particularly challenging one. Several media outlets are reporting Kiribati has announced its withdrawal from the forum. Meanwhile, it's the first time since 2019 that forum leaders have physically got together, and leaders already have plenty on their plate. Top of the agenda is expected to be China's moves on the region. Another lift in the official cash rate is expected on Wednesday. Experts are picking the Reserve Bank will hike it by another 50 basis points, bringing it up to 2.5%. Economists say inflationary pressures are exceedingly high, underpinned by severe capacity restraints and low unemployment rates. Inflation is currently sitting at 6.9%. And surging oil prices are threatening our transport industry and supply chain. A Transporting New Zealand survey of 400 transport companies shows almost 9 in 10 say recent cost increases have had a major negative impact on their business. Chief Executive Nick Leggett says pressure is building for companies.
A large truck on the road a year ago was costing about $70,000 over a year to run 100,000 kilometres, is now costing about $119,000.
And those are the latest New Zealand Herald headlines. For more and to stay up to date, head to nzherald.co.nz. Kia pai te rā. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald. Click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.